Hola.
Hello.
Bonjour. All the other
Howdy.
things. Howdy.
Yeah.
How's it?
Malo lele.
How's
Malo.
it going, ladies?
It's going.
Eh,
Yeah.
Good, good.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
missed the podcast last week schedule, and plus Melanie, you were sick,
I
and
had COVID.
I had two doctor's appointments and another appointment on Friday, and they all ran late. Every single one of them ran late. So I didn't get home till after 3 o'clock, and it's like, so we didn't get a chance to do a podcast. So I apologize for that. But we're back today. So we had a wonderful Labor Day weekend, and we had a great service last Sunday. I wanted to bring up because we had to cut it, unfortunately, but Jerry Llewellyn was supposed to sing People Need the Lord on Sunday. But Jerry
Oh,
had a procedure done last week, and he was not able to sing. So he'll be back this week.
Aw.
But and we have him doing a solo in the choir a week from Sunday. But
Okay.
um, I missed that. I was looking forward to him being able to sing it, but he texted me like on Thursday, I think, and said, "I don't think I'm going to be there on Sunday. This is, I guess it was bigger than he thought it was going to be."
yeah. They were
Aw.
scraping, and so yeah, he got carved up pretty good.
Yeah, he showed me last
Aw.
night. He was at choir rehearsal last
Oh,
night. It's like,
okay,
Oh,
good.
good.
so kind of gave me the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah.
He'll be back this week.
That's
Uh,
what I saw in the news. They caught a 13-foot python in New York that
oh,
someone had as a pet and didn't think it would grow that big. I'm like,
wow.
what are you
So what they
thinking?
do, just let it loose?
No,
That's
they had it in a 5-foot tank and it was 13 feet long. And they called animal control, like, duh, you think there's a problem?
Oh my
my
gosh.
goodness. That's cruel.
It is cruel.
Cruel.
hmm We had one that lived behind us when we first moved to California in the yard behind us. And he would let the snake out to exercise during the day. Well, that snake found a way to get in our yard. And Molly is in the backyard. She's 3 years old. And
Mm.
she's standing out there and she goes, "Hey, mama." And I look outside, and next to her is this giant snake. The head is as big as, bigger than Molly's foot.
And you were like,
Ugh.
Let me just say that my neighbor and I had a come to Jesus meeting. He met the South that day. I
Oh
mean,
my Lord.
oh my gosh, it was not cool. It was not cool.
Yeah, I don't mind snakes. I used to be terrified of them, but I'm not so much anymore. Um, and that only changed because I did a show in Sacramento, and in the show they had it was set in Louisiana, and one of the characters was wearing a robe, and she had this boa constrictor under her robe,
Oh,
and I was there to help with another show they were rehearsing for. So the snake, for some reason, had a liking to me and kept crawling in my lap. And before that, I was
hey,
terrified, but that snake helped get me over
I'm
that.
not going there. I'm not going there.
Yeah, it was freaking me out, but then the snake was so sweet, it just crawl up and sit next to me.
oh my. I don't mind them like those the gopher snakes,
Yeah,
out in I don't
yeah.
mind that at all. But a python that's about 8 feet
13,
long
Yeah.
and
13 point, yeah,
is about a
13 feet.
foot from my little kid's foot.
Yeah.
I thought I'm gonna kill me a snake and we're gonna have
Yeah.
snake soup tonight. But my neighbor was not fond of me after that,
Yeah.
and I don't
Wow.
care.
Well, no, I don't. Why would you let a snake out in a public area? I know, it doesn't make sense to me. Anyway, so this week, choir is back. We had our first choir rehearsal after our break last night, and it went really, really well. So
Good.
I'm looking forward to having everybody back. We're still putting the word out. We would love to have more people join us. We had a new person, Leah, last night who joined us, and it was nice to have new faces. And then tomorrow, Saturday, the 7th at 10 a.m., we are having a sing through to look at some new music. We ordered 13 new choir anthems,
Oh,
and
cool.
those have arrived except for two. We're still missing two. I'm hoping they're there today. But we're going to sing through those tomorrow. So just good stuff happening. So um, there's other stuff happening. I know, Melanie, you wanted to talk about a youth event. What's going on?
Yes, on September 22nd, that's a Sunday. Now I'm September 22nd.
Mhm.
that night, it's our turn to prepare and serve a meal for the gathering in. So teenagers will meet at 4:30, or did I say 5? I don't remember. 4:30 or 5. I'll I'll let you know. I think I said 5 because lately we've been preparing the meal and then we sit there and it's been ready for a while. So 5 o'clock at the Roseville First United Methodist Church. We'll prep a meal. We'll be done by 7. So come and join us, but please let me know if you're coming so that we can kind of assign jobs and I'll know how many to expect to prep the meal.
Cool.
What are you making?
We make the same stew every time. It's like a vegetable beef stew and it's
Oh, cool.
delicious. We love it. Cooper asks for it at home all the time. So
Yeah, I was going to say, I might have to bring my begging bowl.
yeah, come on, come join us.
Bowl.
Now, Allison, you wanted to bring up that we have a guest speaker this Sunday?
Yes, Mindy from Morgan Oaks. She's going to speak a little bit in church, just I think more about her personal story and what led her to kind of do what she does. And then, which is green burials. That's one of many things that she's involved in. She's on a bunch of nonprofits, works at the Senior Life Center all the time. And she's just a really bubbly person and is putting together some packets about just things we need to take care of to help our loved ones. So I bought a bunch of booklets that I'll be handing out. And these booklets are kind of like, this is what you need to do. Just so people are prepared. There's even a section in there about worship planning.
Oh.
You know, like, what would you like at your celebration of life or your funeral service? You know, what tradition, any hymns, any scriptures, any special, music requests. So I just think my emphasis is going to be more on the lines of, when you're in the hospital in ICU and your loved one dies and you're a train wreck because your brain just shuts down. And the first thing the hospital does, and they can't help it, they come to you and they say, have you contacted a funeral home?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not in the brain space to do that. Like, who is?
Mm-hmm.
And so if you have this book where everything's just kind of laid out of the tasks that you need to take care of, I just think it helps you through the process because you don't need to be thinking at a moment when you're not prepared to.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So
Absolutely.
that's my 2 cents.
And from my perspective, when my mom passed, we had everything planned out because she was going through dementia. We knew what was happening. We took care of all that. But I also have a family member who owns a funeral home, and that person walked me through everything ahead of time.
Yes.
So
And we
not
all
everybody
need
has that.
Exactly. And so to have Mindy as a resource from Morgan Oaks and to have this little booklet that I purchased very inexpensively on Amazon. I may need to order some more. I ordered 40. Amazon kept saying to me, are you sure? Duplicate order.
Have you
And
lost your mind?
Yes, I've lost my mind.
Yep.
So, yeah, I'll order more and I think it's a resource. I should keep at the church.
Yep.
I think that's a great idea. You're so right. You can't think straight in that moment.
No.
Nor should you.
Right.
don't
Yeah,
want-
that's the expectation. Yeah.
And I don't want, if I go first, I don't want James to have to deal with it. I just want everything in writing. And
Yes.
we've done that. We have both
Yes.
done that. So
Yeah.
Put me in a canoe, light it on fire, send it out to Lake Tahoe. That's
No,
what
I
I
was
want.
shoot an arrow out in the middle of it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Isn't it the Willie Nelson song, Rolled Me Up and Smoked Me When I
Yep.
Die?
I told my kids that better be the last song at my funeral.
That's funny.
Snoop
Yeah.
Dogg and Willie.
Yeah, Snoop Dogg.
I love their
Dogg.
duet. I love their duet.
Anything that we want to talk about for the service this Sunday otherwise?
Yes, the other thing, so I do have 2 volunteers helping me with like food and setup like on Saturday. But because I'll be going from worship and kind of hosting Mindy, if anyone is watching this and is willing to help me with like getting the food ready for the event, I would totally appreciate that. So like I said, I do have 2 helpers, but it would be nice if I had some other confirmations, just so I can go smoothly. So, yeah.
I've got a few announcements that are out in the lantern. We tomorrow, I guess this is at Roseville High School Theater. The there's the Hawaiian Polynesian event tomorrow at 1 o'clock.
Oh,
I guess
okay.
they've performed for the seniors at the Life Center before.
Oh, the hula group?
The hula group, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
They're good.
yep. Um, that's tomorrow at 1 o'clock, Saturday the 7th. We have the choir coming back this week. Special offering for September is the Roseville Food Kitchen. So if you would like to participate in that, bake checks payable to the Loomis First United Methodist Church and put a memo line for the Roseville Food Kitchen. Godly Play comes back this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And
Play and
Faith Exploration. Yep.
Mm-hmm. I'm just going to say talking donkeys.
Oh, sweet.
It's what we're going to talk about in Faith Exploration. Talking donkeys.
Yeah,
Oh,
I used to
I
think
love
those
that
were
story.
weird until I started following politics.
Yeah.
Um, we are looking for new choir members, like we said. There's an announcement in the lantern this week, so you can contact me or contact Martin. His email address is in the lantern.
Also, some big news. We're hosting the installation of our new bishop.
Oh, that's right.
Yay.
Yeah, Bishop Sandy Allwine.
October 20th.
October 20th.
Yep.
Nice.
So, so anyway, yeah, that's what's going on. So we'll, as it gets closer, we'll need signups to help with, reception and also kind of hospitality at the parking lot, like directing people, showing people where to go, because we will need the fellowship hall as well.
And this will be during worship?
No, it's at 4 p.m. on
Okay.
October 20th.
All right. Good to know.
It's exciting. I'm glad we're hosting her. I've heard such wonderful things about her from different people who've worked with her before. And a friend of mine works in the conference office, and she was just saying that it's really nice to
Good.
work in the conference office with her. Yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah. And it's an honor for us, to
Mhm,
be selected. So,
And I will definitely try to be there for that because I would love to meet her. And I'm a member now.
that's right.
Yay!
I talked to Claire Bunch yesterday about the Fall Women's Retreat. So I am leading music for that on Saturday, September 28th at 10 a.m. Lunch is included and it is $20. Make cash or check payable to Loomis First United Methodist Church. I'm looking forward to that. We went through the music yesterday and I'm very excited about that. And it's just gonna be me this time around. So Martin's not gonna be joining us, but I am looking forward to that. And it's in the fellowship hall. So it's not in Auburn this time. We had Bob Kurtz talked to us last week about the pledge drive starting off, coming up over the next few weeks. So we're going to get more information about that. We have speakers, I think, through the whole month of September, don't we?
Yes, and I ran into Janice Herder this morning, and she said to put out a plug that if you're listening to the podcast, you can always speed it up to 2 times. If
Oh,
you're,
yeah.
she was like, just tell everybody put it at 2 times or 3 times, and then
We
they'll
got really
get
fast.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. I actually do that when I'm watching some videos. I slow it down so I can follow along. Like I
Yeah.
follow these folks who do music production. And if I want to know something about how they're arranging a song or something, I slow it down so I can follow along. And yeah.
When I watch the service back, it probably takes me 3 or 4 times to like I'll do one section, I'll listen to the music or I'll listen to the sermon, listen to the joys and concerns, but it's like throughout the week.
Yep.
Rather than sitting down all at once and doing it.
No, just put it on 10 times.
So we have a potluck coming up on September 22nd.
Yes.
It's in the fellowship hall after worship to celebrate fellowship in our congregation. And it's sponsored by A Place at the Table.
Yeah.
So they're asking that we bring our own place service and a dish to share. And they have it broken down. A through K is a salad or side dish. That's me. L through R is a main dish. and S through Z is
Maine.
convert. Yep. So if you have
Okay.
questions, contact Leslie Nake, and her email is in the lantern. There's also a very long write-up written by Carl Nake in the lantern about the endowments. So if you would like to know more about that, I would highly recommend you reading that. An endowment's a gift given or bequeathed to the church, and it's different than a tithe. So there's a lot of information about that, and some that we have gotten over the last few years from Shig Yukote, Euleriki, and George and Nancy Moulinex.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of information in there, and we've been blessed
And
that we've
the
had some
endowment,
large
yes.
endowments.
And the endowment team has done a really good job, and Carl taking it on has been just a blessing. So cheers to the endowment team.
Yep, and having
Guy Gibson came
Guy
in.
Gibson, yeah, he's a
Yeah.
lawyer, isn't he? He works with trust and wills or something.
Yeah.
So,
Excuse me.
I think that is almost, oh, the community parking lot sale coming up on October 12th. I am going through every closet in my house.
Me too.
I'm like, do I need to rent 2 spaces?
Right. I need a whole row.
So, but it's there. There's information about there's from 8 a.m. till 2 p.m. I think they're starting set up at 6:30 in the morning.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah, but I'm like, I've got Xbox games. I've got all this. I've got 3 different game systems. Yeah, I've got a lot I want to get rid of.
I've got costume jewelry like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah.
Because
So
obviously I wear so much jewelry.
no, I'm assuming we probably would have to bring our own tables and stuff, but
Yeah, but I happen to know where we have a bunch.
yeah,
that we
I've got
can
2
go.
here at the house, pop-up
Yeah.
tables we can use. So, but yeah, I am definitely going to do that. We've also got the Heritage Luncheon coming up on November 16th, and that is also Founders Day weekend. We've been talking to Sarah Nita about that service on the 17th. So that's going to be a big weekend, and we have guest speakers for that.
Yes. They haven't totally like planned. We're meeting again this Sunday, but the theme is going to be Tule Lake. So
Yeah.
it should be really good. So we're trying to work that out.
Cool. There's a wonderful write-up about Living Treasure Sunday in the Lantern this week with some great pictures of Roberta and Campbell. So check that out. There's also a write-up in here. It's from the history of the First United Methodist Church that was written by Rusty Oratsu and Larry Bowen in 1975. There's a history of our church bell.
Oh, yes.
So that is wonderful little short read. So take a look at it. And anything else? I think that's it. Any other things? I know we're meeting with our worship committee next Tuesday to start talking about the fall season. Oh my gosh, are we already at Advent planning?
I'm out of here for 2 weeks. So.
I know. We'll have to just muddle through, I guess.
No,
When are
we
you
have
leaving? Remind me when you're leaving.
the 22nd Sunday on a red eye.
Okay.
So
You'll be here that morning.
Oh yeah, I'll be like, hi, bye.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
But then you're gone on the 29th.
Yes, and I have two wonderful preachers that are covering. On the 29th, it's Mike Harrell, who is a colleague of ours, and Melanie is preaching and leading communion on October, is it 6th?
I think so.
Or 6th, whatever. But yes, so I am so lucky to have 2 wonderful preachers who are going to be there to cover.
Have I met Mike?
You're so generous.
I don't know if you've met Mike. He's tall, lean. He was the assistant to Bishop Carcano.
Okay. No, I don't think I've met him.
He
then.
was the
He's
pastor.
wonderful.
Yes, he was the pastor at Foothills United Methodist Church for a bunch of years.
I think maybe we've emailed a couple times, but I don't think I've met him.
Okay, he's a wonderful guy. So you
He
guys
is.
are in for 2 special Sundays.
Cool.
And I'll be
Lower the bar, not for Mike, but for the second one.
Well, how'd you know I'd be in Spain? And that's where I'd be, at the bar.
I am looking forward to the band being back because we're going to be missing Greg this week, met Damien this week. I think Martin is back Sunday, thankfully. So we're
Yay,
having him back.
we missed Martin.
Yeah. And it'd be me and Bonnie and Jerry and Martin on Sunday. But then Greg's back the following week, I think. But I don't think we have Damien back till sometime in October. So,
Okay.
and I'm sorry, I got new glasses. That was one of the appointments I had last Friday, and they constantly slide down. And I've tightened them a bunch of times. I'm going to take them back, I think. But um, anything else we need to bring up?
No, I think we're good to go.
Okay, I am
Happy
really,
fall, y'all.
this has been a long week to be a holiday week. So
Yeah.
I've been really enjoying my job, but it's been really a lot of work. Plus, I have a gig tonight. I'm
good.
playing for a Bette Midler tribute concert tonight. That is
That's
sold
what
out,
you said.
apparently.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you told me you sold out. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, so that's cool. But we just lost our saxophone player today because his father-in-law passed away.
Aw.
So it's gonna be more pressure on just piano. So like, all
You
right,
can
whatever,
handle it.
we'll be fine. So we can move on. I've got quite a few joys and concerns that have come in today from Sharon. And a shout out to Sharon. I know she listens to this a lot. Thank her so much for making copies for the choir. We had a bunch of new anthems, and as publishing companies are moving into the 21st century, then now we can download them and print them ourselves instead of waiting for them to ship. And I had quite a few. She printed those out for me yesterday. So thank you. That saved me a lot of time. So
Sharon is so wonderful.
she
She
is.
She's
And when
so great. She has great ideas. She
and when
Yeah.
doesn't
she's
like
on
she's just
vacation, we miss her so much.
yeah,
She's on
she's the
vacation, everything
best.
falls apart.
I know,
I know.
She's the
We
glue.
miss her.
but
And
she's
she's sweet
amazing.
and wonderful. We miss having her
I
around when she's
know.
on vacation.
I know. Um, so yeah, we've got a lot of joys and concerns this week. So I'm going to start with the joys. Unfortunately, they're the shorter list. We already talked about we're hosting the service for Bishop Oline, who is being inducted on October 20th at 4 p.m. Are installed. And I am looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to meeting her. Wes and Andrew Muller, new grandson Emmett Wood, born recently in Alabama.
Yay!
And the picture
Oh,
of,
that's wonderful.
yes, the picture of baby Ellie getting to hold him for the first time was wonderful.
Oh,
Oh,
She was holding
yay.
him, she was like this, and then all of a sudden he moved and she was like, it's
what do I
alive.
do? It's alive.
That's so great.
And the Ann Goves celebrated their 57th wedding anniversary on September 3rd. Carl and Leslie Nake and Mallory happily announced that Mallory is expecting a baby boy to be born around Thanksgiving. And that's all the joys that I get.
Oh, we can come up with more joys.
Yeah.
But we'll think about it.
Okay.
Cooper got cleared to play soccer.
Oh,
and
good.
so he was a happy boy this week because he could be active and work out his energy. So
Good.
first game this weekend. Yay.
Tons of concerns. Elizabeth Jarrett dealing with horrible lower back stenosis and sciatic nerve pain. Barbara Williams recovering from the first of 2 ablations done this week on her cervical spine.
That went really well. I asked her yesterday, are you ready for some acrobatics? And she said, almost.
No,
See you
good.
Sunday.
I'll be swinging from the rafters at the church.
Yeah,
on Sunday.
yeah.
Okay, good. Don Harris recovering from recent hip surgery. I saw him last week. Barbara Meinert recovering from recent heart procedure. Joanne.
She's hoping to be there on Sunday to attend.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So
Good.
I texted with Karen and I spoke to Barbara the night before surgery. So she's good.
Good.
Joanne Beards recovering from a broken ankle and pneumonia.
Yeah, I talked to her this week too, and she said she's seeing progress every day. So
Good.
yay.
Good.
Scary for a little bit.
Continued prayers for Reba Stackhouse from her fall. Carolyn Shama, Judy Connor, Lindy Cornell from hip recovery, Polly Dye, Sanchia Spandau, Debbie Stogner, George Blind. Cameron, who is Diane Pingree's 9-month-old great niece, is having some concerning blood work. It's not looking good. Steve Alcott's brother-in-law, Neil, is in hospice care. Carol Metzinger, who's a 100-year-old former member, she is dealing with pneumonia. A friend of Debbie Arlington, Elise, is going through difficult medical issues. A neighbor of Steve Alcott, Diane, has advanced coronary artery disease and congestive heart failure.
Actually, I think Carol is a man.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I'm pretty sure because I've met him.
Okay.
Okay.
If it's the friend I'm thinking of. So anyway,
This was Carol Metzinger, was a 100-year-old former member.
yes, I'm
Okay.
pretty sure he was in the choir, I'm pretty sure, but I'll
Okay.
check with Jerry Llewellyn.
And the Neelays asked for prayers for friends in Illinois. Lanier has liver nodules and metastatic breast cancer. Her father, Voltaire, has a tumor on the right eye.
Oh.
And we are asking for prayers for Susan Crowder, the daughter of Mary and Andy Anderson. The service is Friday, September 20th at 1 p.m.
Yeah.
And Linda Scott, who's a friend of Sigurd Gibson, lost 2 of her 3 children over the last month.
Yes. Susan Crowder, her service, she died last week, and Maybelle and I met with the family yesterday and planned the service. So
it's Friday the 20th at 1 p.m.
And if we can go back to Judy Connor, yesterday she told me she's supposed to come home today.
Oh,
So I have not heard whether that's happened or not, but as of last night at 8:40, she said I'm supposed to go home tomorrow.
awesome.
So
nice.
yeah, after like, oh my gosh, forever.
And let's keep the families in Georgia from the shooting this week in prayer. I know that's got to be devastating. 4 deaths.
Y'all, I could not stop crying on like Wednesday was like, here we go again.
Yeah.
But then yesterday I couldn't stop crying. And part of that is because my daughter is a teacher, you know, and for years and years I thought, once my kids get out of school, you know, and then of course Molly chose to be a teacher. And so that's going to be the rest of our lives. And obviously Cooper's still in school, but I could not stop crying. And I'm so angry. And they just, everyone feels fresh and gross and
I know.
And unnecessary.
And they've become too normalized.
Yeah.
It is, and and it doesn't, like Kamala Harris said, it doesn't have to be this way, and that's where my anger comes from. But yeah, just praying for them. I actually texted Molly and I said, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer and bring it up, but I also want to acknowledge what must be going through your mind when you hear the news and you're in that position. And she said, actually, we just know that's part of life. Because she's a brand new teacher. Like she grew up in the school system where there's school shootings all the time. And so for her, it's not that she's not scared. It's not that she's not worried, but she's like, I just put it out of my mind because I can't do my job if I'm thinking about.
And it shouldn't be part of normal life. Like I remember that Downtown Julie Brown song from the 80s, The Homecoming Queen's Got a Gun.
Yeah.
Like I used to laugh at that song because it was so absurd. And then I listened to it and I'm like, we can't sing that anymore.
No.
Right.
Because that's a reality.
It's a reality. Right. I have never not prayed when I watch. I think I've told you all before, for years when Cooper was little bitty and I would watch his little red backpack disappear down the trail to school, you know, it was like, please, God.
Yeah. It's horrible, but and I agree, it should not be that way. It really shouldn't. It should not be a fact of life.
It's absurd.
Not in the richest country in the world.
No.
It's horrid. We are poor in so many ways.
Exactly.
And humanity is one of them.
Yes.
My friend at seminary who is from South Africa called us the spiritual third world.
Yeah.
Yes. What a beautiful way. Well, what a horrible but beautiful way to articulate that.
Yes. I used to commute with him to SFTS on the bus from PSR. And yeah, he said, I can't understand this country sometimes.
Well, I grew up here. I can't either sometimes.
I grew up here too.
I know. It's ridiculous.
So on that happy note, that depressing note, would one of you lead us in prayer? I have a meeting in 9 minutes, by the way.
Okay, I'll make it fast and speed up your podcast. You can do it on 3 times.
There you go.
Just Gracious God, just look out for all of us and look out for those who are hurting, and just continue to work in us and help us be the loving community that we're called to be, and just help bring an end to all this violence that we see around us, and heal our loved ones who are hurting right now. In Jesus' name, amen.
Man.
How's that?
Yay.
Amen.
Was that like,
It's almost as short as your sermon from a couple of weeks ago.
I was going to say, I'm practicing for this Sunday in case.
Write
I'll
that prayer
have-
down.
Yeah, I'll have sermon 1 and sermon 2. And I'll be like, which one would y'all like? Sermon
No.
1.
Then this Barabbas. No.
That's Barabbas. Oh no. Because then that means I have to suffer. Don't do
Yeah,
that.
sorry, it's been
You're
one of those
such a
weeks.
church nerd. Look at you. You're joining the church, and now your sense of humor is gone total church nerd.
Hey, I grew up Pentecostal. I know it.
That's why when you
And you know
started talking about snakes, I'm like, oh dear Lord, he's going to talk about snakes in churches.
Well, yeah, but James is Tibetan Buddhist. He practices Tibetan Buddhism, but he has a degree in Bible studies. He graduated from a Bible college. So
I knew that.
yeah, so
That's
we know a lot. So,
Awesome.
and even sometimes I'll talk about things in the Bible, and he's like, "No, that's not what it says," and he'll go, "See," I'm like, "Oh, okay, thank you, Bible nerd." So, anyway,
I love it.
thank you both, and I will see you on Sunday, I guess.
Yeah.
And it was a nice little surprise to run into you at the church yesterday, Allison. So
Oh, yeah. It was good to see you too. And then
I know
was,
you were running late, but
poor Denise Hexam, they cooked dinner for me, and thank you, Denise. It was lovely. But I was like, I'm running.
all right, I will see you both Sunday.
All right. Ciao, ciao.